Hmm. What do you think you're doing?
Be strong.
And now the wait is over. The nerves have taken their toll. Ooh. Let go of fear you're holding. The fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know what I'm in for. A white knuckle ride. You got a fix for me, you know what I need. Oh, it's a breakneck speed. Might as well enjoy the ride.
Monterey, California. Welcome in to the west coast of the United States in one of the probably more scenic racetracks that we get to see on this circuit this season of the iRacing IndyCar Series, presented by LD Concepts as the final road course race of the season, which is normally the final race of the season, but that happens to not be the case this season. Due to technicality, as we call it, we will be running another race next week. But tonight, we get to enjoy WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna, Seca, a track that has been forever known for that corner right there. That's called the Corkscrew. And if you've never seen the Corkscrew or heard of it, you will learn today, as they like to say, as we welcome you in to the Grand Prix of Laguna Seca, of course, presented by Apex Sage Coaching, and of course the TI Racing IndyCar Series presented by LD Concepts. I am the captain, Chris Scallo. Of course, joined by Gary Godso tonight as he's off the track in the booth with me this evening, and that's probably a good thing because we've been watching a lot of action going on around this track that is very unforgiving, very easy to go off course. It's got a double apex turn 2, not turn 1. It also has what we call the corkscrew, which is all of, what, a 5-story drop, I believe, or something like that. So many elevation changes, and we sit just miles from Monterey Beach here in California. Just a beautiful scenery out here.
At the Sonoma race yesterday, but this is my least favorite road course, period. This is dating back to the IndyCar Racing 2 days. I hate this place, and the reason why, it's hard. It's narrow, it's slippery, it's got these dirt runoffs, so you're going to have a lot of dirt debris on the track. It's not a fun track, and every turn here on this course is not an easy one. Every single turn has a little something that's going to come up and bite you if you're not paying attention. So it requires your concentration every turn of every lap as you make your way around this course.
So this track, obviously, as you mentioned, it's tricky. There's dirt everywhere. There is not a single string of grass. I don't know what they technically call that. But there's not one. It's all dirt. It's kind of a desert, like a blade. Thank you, a blade of glass. How would I not know that? And I said glass, not grass, but you get my point. Anyways, going to be some fun racing tonight, and we're looking forward to it here in a very few minutes. Now, with that said, here tonight, one big piece of news, of course, was the championship. It is done. This championship has been clinched officially as of last week. Isaac Morris did get his first TI Racing IndyCar championship. However, we still have plenty to do this evening on the track. And let's take a look at the driver point standing as they enter tonight's race. As you see, Isaac's lead is insurmountable. It is gone, and I think I have the wrong points up for some reason. So give me 1 second. I'm going to fix that. I apologize. I thought I loaded them, but I didn't. There they go. There's the updated points. So Isaac's won the championship. Philip Lee still second. Carlos Dotero, Daniel McDonald, the top four within all of 18 points. Jessica Saban there in fifth. Lester in sixth. AJ Stravato in seventh. Cohen Evans, Dan Marrera, and Nick Fleury, your top 10 as we enter tonight's race. And before I even get to the team points, talk about that for a second, Gary. Obviously, that battle for second is very, very tight.
We still got 2 weeks to determine that here on a technical road course and one more time on an oval. You said there's 18 points there, so every position is critical for each one of those drivers in tonight's race.
And, of course, qualifying is underway right now, and there is a couple penalties that are in play we'll talk about here in a couple minutes. One does affect the Philip Lee car that we'll talk about. Also, TI Racing clinched the championship for the team standings with 682 points, so they'll get the plaque coming up at the end of the season. But there is a good tight battle for the for second. Three teams pretty much involved in that one: GTSRL, Addict Racing, and we'll put Kamagoya in there. Even though it's about a 50-point difference, still plenty of time to go. And Peak Performance Racing with a 15-point lead down in ninth over Haas. So as we continue on. And I'm not calling Sutter Esports Haas in this case. I'm saying actual Haas. So, anyways, I don't need that family coming after me. With that said, we continue on. And so the penalty. Let's talk about this. Obviously, this we're going to keep this cordial. Involves you a little bit. Obviously, the wreck that happened at Pocono with Philip Lee and Gary, both sides ended up being penalized in the end. Obviously, Phillips is more on the track, and Gary obviously gets a penalty too for what happened and stuff. But Philip actually, I believe, is going to start tail end tonight on the grid because of that. And I'm trying to make sure I read this right here according to what I saw in Discord here. But so he will be starting in the back of the field this evening. When it was all over with, the marshals felt that both ends could have either given and taken and prevented that from happening when it was all over with last week. So that was the admin call, and I'm actually looking for, there's the penalty section if I looked harder. Yeah, so I think that's going to be what happens. I think Philip gets an EOL for the start of the race, and that was actually modified, I believe, this evening after some conversations. So we'll have to see. But needless to say, we move on from that as Kite Bommersbach is on the pole right now. Let's actually go down here for some qualifying as we still have about, none. We're actually finishing up qualifying. I thought we were going to be getting a couple laps. But Kite has definitely, where's Tom Carnegie at? Broken the track record at Laguna Seca tonight. The track record is what, Gary?
Track, ironically, is held by Elio Castro Neves. You knew four-time Indianapolis 500 champion, but 107.772 was the record, or is the current record, but in the virtual world was the record. It was set back in 2000 when he was racing in that Honda Renard Firestone car that he had with Team Penske on kart.
Which I believe was
his first year with kart.
Yeah, I believe a V8 was in that car at the time.
Yeah, and that was his first year with kart.
Yeah, so obviously these cars more of a V6 twin turbo, and Kite with a 107.18. So as a matter of fact, the top two have broken the track record. Isaac Morris up there in second. Kite actually, he's racing with a purpose tonight. He got that top three finish last week in his debut race, and he saw the way Isaac won that championship, and he's like, I'm going to show this boy I'm for real next season. So I don't think he really said it like that, but you get my point. He's going to go out here and prove himself here this evening. So Kite looking good there at first. And how about Austin Sarr with a 108.15? I didn't know I made my good job, my chassis guys, I guess. I didn't expect that kind of lap, but nice job by him. Sam Blackwood, who was very impressive last week also. P4 and Ido Vila, who we're going to have to keep track tonight, might run out of push to passes potentially before the end of lap 1. So we'll have to keep. That's an actual joke that I've learned that the league does too. I did not know this, but I was in a room I think it was last week, and they mentioned something about Ido using push to passes. I'm like, wait, this is actually said outside of the broadcast too? But in all jokes aside, let's hope he has a good run tonight too.
Well, when you look at the timing and scoring in some timing and scoring apps, you see this column that says P2P, and when everyone else is in low numbers, and you see Edu with double numbers and up into the 20s at one point, you're like, man, really loves his turbo.
Yeah, Edu's to the point where I think he's cutting into next season's total already. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, the cars
carry over minutes.
Wait, Bears breaking news. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup here for the Grand Prix of Laguna Seca, of course, presented by Apex Sage Coaching. It is Kite Bommersbach, his first career pole and his second career start. So congratulations to him. He'll start alongside Isaac Morris. Austin Sarr, best start of the season for him, alongside Sam Blackwood. Ido Vila, Jessica Saban, 5th and 6th. Carlos Dotero, Dan Morera in the 7th and 8th position. Lester and Daniel McDonald, one of the 3 cars in that battle for second in points. He will start there in the 10th position. Jim Herrick, Danny Brennan in row number 6. Looking at row number 7. Oh, very good. I hope Chris Lewis is here. If not, I guess I better keep track of votes. He actually almost, he didn't yell at me last week, but he was like, dude, you didn't tell me you were keeping track. So there's 2 for Team Phillip already. And this is like the main battle right now. It's Phillip versus Saban. Right now.
There's 1 for Saban.
Yeah, 1 for Saban, 2 for Phillip so far this evening, just in case Chris isn't here, because I haven't heard his voice yet. Nick Fleury and AJ Stravado in the 13th and 14th positions. Tim Miller, Matthew Telder, row number 8. Row 9, Isaac Lopez and Luke Daniels. Row number 10, Andres Perez, Jeff Destino. David Wimsey, and there's Philip Lee, as I mentioned, going to start in the back of the field this evening. And Matt Kelly, the Australian, will start, Australian or New Zealander, will start in 24th this evening. So as the cars roll off for their parade and pace lap, and they get to do the long lap here for a second. So let's, we got a quick minute. Let's pull up a driver, and I have the perfect guy to bring up to us, and that is Jim Herrick. Mr. Herrick, you got a copy, buddy?
What's to do? How you doing, Chris?
Hey, I'm good, man. It's obviously the last road course race of season number 5. Of course, it's been a wild one. You obviously haven't made all the races so far, but you've had some promising runs so far in that number 40.
Yeah, this track's one I haven't raced on before, so today we're just going to try and keep it clean and have a good clean race, get a good finish.
How's the tire wear? Because I've been told there are some issues.
On the primaries, it's okay. I'm not really sure what the alternate's going to do. I didn't have time to test a full run on the alternates, so we're going to see on this first stint.
Very good, man. Well, hopefully you have a great race tonight. We appreciate your time, and yeah, as always with the LMC Gear guys, and hopefully we'll see you back for a full season next season.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Just hope to put this LMC Gear car up there in the top 5 or top 10 today, maybe.
Oh, by the way, sponsor of tomorrow night's dirt race for the Great Lakes Sim Racing Series, lmcgear.com. So looking forward to that tomorrow night. But Jim, good luck tonight, bud.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jim Herrick there in the number 23 car. Yep, he's the sponsor of the Bristol Dirt Race that we're hosting tomorrow night that we're broadcasting for us. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, here they come. 52 laps. The B-52s. This definitely won't be a love shack when it's over with tonight. So
you want to.
Yeah, you go with that one too. 2 of their hits. I think that was their only 2 hits. Anyways, green flag is out from Laguna Seca.
Big jump on the right.
Isaac purposely getting down in line, down to what is technically turn 2, the Andretti hairpin, a double apex corner here.
Watch yourself getting on the power too early there. You back in around.
Especially with the colder tires.
Yep, coming up to turn 3, which actually is probably, if the second easiest, I think turn 4 right here is probably the easiest turn on the track, provided you don't run off into that dirt area.
Yeah, the dirt here will spin you around. As here we go up the left-hander and up towards the corkscrew, 2 corners away, as a matter of fact here.
Heading uphill, and they're coming into 6, and 6 kind of has this dip right at the apex that kind of disrupts the car. Good, they're through there. Now they're coming up to the signature corner.
We're just going to watch up here at the top here, just hope and pray that everyone just checks up. Kind of like a situation like you're running up on New York City traffic here. Everybody behave. Good job. And I think everybody made it. Oh, and for the lead, Isaac dives it in there on Kite. A little contact, little hip check, and takes the lead. Nice move by Isaac Morris. Set him up in that final corner there.
And turn 11.
So strategy here, so I've been told it's a 2-stopper, 52 laps, so I'm assuming you want to do maybe a 20-40 to get to the finish here, or could it be a little different? Obviously, I didn't get a chance to do much research on the track and fuel mileage stuff.
Saying 2 stops.
So 2 stops so far into this, or 2 stops in the race, I should say, this evening. Breaking news, Ito Vila does not have the most pushed passes you so far after 1 lap. That belongs to this guy, Danny Brennan.
Danny Brennan.
Up the hill. And here's the corkscrew on, well, we were going to go on board one. Yeah, about a 5-story drop right there, and you're downhill the rest of this track, basically here. So you go uphill the first half of the track, then you're downhill. This right-hander here can be very tricky. As you see, you can get that rumble strip, it'll spin you out, but then this very tricky and first gear corner of turn 11, as you mentioned, sends you back up the front straightaway here to complete lap number 2.
They said that they would go through the corkscrew and have that 5-story drop. That would actually feel like a roller coaster to them. That's how fast and rapid that drop is.
Now, one thing that Laguna Seca has mentioned, you guys are killing me with the votes here. One thing that I'm making sure I get everybody. Herrick's got a vote about this track, and I know they've done this in recent years, but they got those little sleeping policemen or turtles on the inside of all the corners, and I think they did that more to prevent cars from kicking up dirt, correct?
Yeah, kicking up debris and dirt, because as you see, there's no grass, no shrubbery, no fauna at all around this place, at least next to the racetrack immediately. You have those trees off on the other side of those wall and the runoff area. But yeah, that's kind of what they have there, because if you give these cars, you give any driver an inch, you know that they'll take a mile.
All right, I believe I've taken the votes here correctly. I believe it's 4-4 already, Phillip versus Saban. And oh, by the way, Phillip Lee up 10 spots in the first lap of this race. So Phillip is already up to the 15th position after starting at the back. The man is on a mission. I'm sure he's got his own little strategy, and we're going to have to keep an eye on him. And one guy also I should mention, Lester, and I believe he and Matt Kelly might have started on pit road. I know Matt Telder did. Also, Destino, we'll have to keep an eye on these guys because they're far back already here. So I'm not sure if it was incidents or strategy or something. Yeah, it looks like Lester might have started in the pits. Matt Kelly started in the pits. So a few cars starting in pit road tonight. So that could be an interesting strategy. Losing there for a second, Gary, just FYI. So lap number 3 in the books there. It was just cutting it out.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like the top 2 have definitely put a lot of a big gap on themselves in 3rd place. Sam's still in the picture, but he is slowly and rapidly. Well, I shouldn't say slowly and rapidly, but he is rapidly fading.
Well, Sam's one of your guys. We got to give him credit because last week at Pocono he had a fantastic run as we run on board with the 74. How impressive you been with him?
Sam, first of all, Sam's great. And he was recruited by one of my other drivers on the team. He's the type of guy that he gets really aggravated in practice because he's such a perfectionist, and he'll sit there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm going to turn 2 laps. I'm going to wreck, and I'm done. And he's the type of guy that when the chips are on the table, the pressure's on, that's when he performs the best. And he's reflecting it once again right here.
And he's doing a great job right now running into third position. Sounds like me, by the way. I'm kind of like that, get angry in practice. Oh my God,
and I clean that language up a lot.
and I'm running at Talladega when that happens. No, I'm just kidding. We got Ito Vila back here in the 6th position. Looking at battles on the track here. He's got Dan Marrera there behind him. Also Daniel McDonald.
And Dan Mack last week won the Reddit IndyCar Series Turbo Cup, which is sponsored by Daredevil Brewery here in Indianapolis. And it was basically a PM18 race at Pocono, and those cars at Pocono take a bunch of bees, put them in a gerbil, shake up the gerbil ball, and that's what you get is when you see the PM18s running at Pocono, because you get a bunch of upset PM18s. and that's kind of what it was. Is those little things were just buzzing around, 5 wide, 6 wide on the front stretch, 4 wide going into turn 1, and he was the say he was a survivor.
So it was the Freedom 100 at Pocono.
Yes.
So just 5 laps in and already saving up 5 to 4. FYI, just going to keep track, and I'm seeing from Dearbra, not Deborah, Dearbra, that. Apparently the extended family are on their way in. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but the extended family are in. And Sam Blackwood's gotten by Kite here, and we got a car off the track here. Did Kite go off somewhere? Yeah, he did. Kite went off track here. Let's see what happened. It costed him the 2nd position. So Kite, who's racing really hard, trying to run with Isaac, unfortunately makes a mistake, and he's coming up on the corkscrew here.
It's so easy to do. So easy to do.
Oh yeah, he spins, lazy spins down the corkscrew. Kind of looks like
did a good job of controlling it though.
Yeah, he did.
And did a good job of getting that car back on the track because you have virtually no any type of grip there when you're in the dirt with those slick tires.
He kind of looks like going down a water slide and you just end up sideways. That's how that looked right there. But just a tire update real quickly. The front 9 started all on the alternate red tires, the primary tires. Dotero, Tim Miller, Luke Daniels, Whimsy, and Lester all started on the primary black tires. So just an FYI on that, and rumor has it these reds are going to fall off real quick.
Yeah, there's not much left of reds here at this track. The track has always been abrasive traditionally, and also typically the races, even though it is in NorCal, are pretty warm.
And of course the climate, out here, I mean, it's warm, but then when you get in these mountainous areas too, of course it'll get cold in the wintertime. You'll see snow and stuff. So this track's got some wear and tear. And speaking of wear and tear, AJ Stravato is going to wear and tear the gearbox of Jim Herrick here for the what position is this at here? The 11th position. And right behind him, you got Philip Lee, who has come up through the field up to 13th so far. And he's done it at a pretty good pace here. His last lap was a 1:10, so he really hasn't driven the car hard, so to say. He's just out there pacing and making passes and stuff, and just getting whatever he can get right now. Isaac Morris with a 8-second lead now over Kite, who has gone back by. As a matter of fact, Sam Blackwood has now had issues as Sam went off track a second ago. Let's see where this happens at. It's coming down the hill after the corkscrew into the final 2 corners here, turn number 10. And he's going to catch that curve. Oh, I thought he's where he spun. He comes up on turn 11 here. Oh, he shifts it too quickly and spins it around. And, of course, now and from there, he's got to wait and find a spot to get in line. So, tough break for him.
To 8.
What's that now?
Looks like I put him back to 8. Now it's 7th, actually.
Yeah, 7th position there, right behind Dan McDonald. So Kite now 8 seconds back. Last time by was actually 4/10 of a second faster than Isaac. Those two easily 108s, and that's it. Everybody else in the 09s, 10s, 11s, and down from there.
Isaac's coming up on Lester here at the tail end of the pack.
Lester's struggling this evening. Not sure if this is maybe not his favorite track, or maybe he just bought the track, or what could be happening there, but he is definitely struggling here as we continue to watch Travado coming up on the corkscrew here, going to make a pass on Herrick. Maybe, nope, he's going to let Herrick go, and Herrick clarks it up into the wall hard. The car just snapped to the right. Not sure how that all transpired. You see the nose is broken. Jim's going to have to get to pit road and get a reset used here. That, usually I've seen them when they snap, they go left. In this case, he went right. See if we can get a better view of this up the hill.
Interesting, yeah. He just kind of broke to the right.
Pit road, or the worker over there at the side's like, dude, what do you want me to do? Tough break for Jim. That stinks. Jim's one of those people that, like, yeah, we're not supposed to cheer on people, but you want to see him do well. So Jessica Saban holding off Ido Vila right now, about 0.8 of a second here. Saban in at 28, running third now. Ido Vila up to fourth. And Ido has reclaimed the lead in the push-to-pass category with 6.
Telling me that she wanted a really good points day to try to make some ground up on the top that group that was so close in the driver's standing. So she's definitely motivated to get past those guys and work her way back up into the top spots.
This could be a sign of things. Kite just ran the fastest lap of the race on lap number 10. So those tire fall off. He's doing a great job of conserving them.
Yeah, 108.340.
And that's with a slide just a little bit ago. And Dan Marrero better not look back. He has got 2 cars on his gearbox right now, and that is AJ Stravado and Philip Lee. Lee, as I mentioned, up 10 spots already in this race. As if you just joined us, he had to start back in the rear of the field due to the penalty last week. And here he is now rolling up through the field as we ride with Philip. First gear through the corkscrew, rolls it back to the throttle. You see all the cars kind of kicking up dirt and stuff, and you just got to be careful of all that, because that will get on the track and kind of kills the grip a little bit, especially on these tires. As they get worn out, they'll pick up all that dirt.
I don't think they've got programmed into iRacing, and it's definitely a factor in real life on tire punctures here.
Yes, tire punctures, and not to mention you get dirt and debris in the radiator and stuff like that. That could always go no bueno there. Underneath the Firestone Bridge. This track does have a great flow to it. I mean, when you come out of that Andretti hairpin, it's like from there, this section all the way from turn 3 all the way up to the corkscrew. It's like you just get straightaways and almost fast-moving corners.
Yes, but it's very narrow and unforgiving if you get off track, because you go right into the dirt. They come through the corkscrew here. This is the side of probably one of the most famous IndyCar passes of all time. Where Alex Zanardi actually I think originated the term full send right there. Sent it full send on Brian Herta on the last lap of that race that year, and ended up passing Herta. He cut through the other side of the corkscrew, did not get penalized, and ended up coming around and winning the race, stealing one from Brian Herta, which would have been, I think, Brian Herta's first career win at that point. But yeah, he full sent it in there, pulled off the pass, went off into the dirt, got back on the track, picked it back up, and ended up winning the race.
Do you think that eats up at Brian Herta now, knowing that his son has one more win?
Well, you know, Herta had a couple more wins when he came over to the Indy Racing League. I don't know the number total, but he was racing that Sirius, or not Sirius XM. I think it was just the XM radio car for Andretti Racing. I think he had a couple wins under his belt. So,
right.
Yeah, it all balanced out, but he had to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately, for his.
So McDonald got by Austin Sarr for position, and that is the 5th spot here. As we'll continue back here on this battle with Morera and Philip Lee for the 10th spot. So
Isaac's just up there hitting his marks and running his pace and running his race and continues to pull away. He's got about a 9-second cushion on P2.
Yeah, 9-second as you mentioned, and it's another 7 back to Jessica Saban. Ito Vila's about 7/10 back from her. And then you got about 2.8 back to McDonald, another 2nd back to Austin Sarr. And the best battle on the track is easily this 1 10th, 11th, and 12th right here.
Isaac got a little wide on the turn 10 there and dipped his tires off into the grass, but kept it straight. Or kept it off into the dirt. So iRacing is going to get a update tomorrow, and we will probably see a couple tracks that we might see on the schedule in the future. Probably not in the oval, not here in TI, but I believe Red Bull Ring is going to be available. That might be an option.
Ooh, that'd be a fun one
for this league.
And
Nashville Super Speedway is the one I'm looking forward to.
The concretes of the 1.25 mile Nashville Super Speedway. That is interesting. And I actually was reading today. Oh, and by the way, I should add this note too. I did see it on Twitter because I do follow a Reddit page on Twitter. So basically, anytime this specific Reddit channel tweets something and breaks in, it's about NASCAR and stuff like that. Apparently, Denny Hamlin was quoted that we are going to Chicago. That's for sure. That's all he said. So it sounds like the Chicago street circuit's coming to real life.
I know it's just a concept in the game right now. Right now.
I'm sure they will.
I was working with some of the guys in another IndyCar league, and we're trying to run IndyCars there, and it's trying to fly a jet fighter through, a needle, hole in a needle. It's so narrow, unforgiving, no runoff areas. In real life, it would be extremely dangerous.
And I'm sure they will work that all in.
It's a shame that they have to drop Chicago. That was a good track, but when you have Chicagoland and Kansas and Vegas and I'm sure if I'm missing. Oh, I guess Kentucky's kind of like that as well. I mean, they're all kind of the same type of track, although Chicago is a little bit different where it had an arced backstretch, which kind of made it unique. I hate seeing another good oval go, much like Fontana is going to be let go for a short track.
I am actually hearing some things about Chicagoland, like as in might not be open much longer. So, not sure the situation there, but I mean, I don't have the total truth about the whole thing or what. But that could be an interesting story. So I'm not sure if there's financial struggles going on with that track or whatnot, and maybe that's the reason why they're not going back there or whatever it is. So, but either way, yeah, it's people have been wanting different tracks and stuff on that circuit, and that's what they're getting right now. So. Something else we're getting is some great racing. Daniel McDonald has been flying up here through the field. He's one of the faster cars right now in the field up to the 5th spot. He has caught the back gearbox. I keep wanting to say bumper. These things don't have bumpers. Of Ito Vila.
Attenuator.
There we go.
Yeah.
Which the new cars have attenuators. A diffuser.
Oh, the next gen.
The next gen car, yep.
Oh, okay.
Julian Alton out there watching us tonight.
He wants me to my audio louder.
Yeah, I turned you up a little bit.
He doesn't want me any louder.
We'll see if it works.
Nobody wants to.
So,
Isaac putting a lap on Nick Fleury, so he is lapped up to the 16th spot.
And of course, 16th right now, or 15th is Andres Perez, who's up 4 spots so far in this race. as Matthew Telder on scheduled pit stop for him in the 23 car. So we're at lap number 18 here, so I would expect here in the next 2 to 3 laps the window to open up. If this is going to be a two-stop race, you might as well split it up to 20s. If you divide 52 by 3, I know 56 by 3 would get you to, off the top of my head, it's at 18, 36, 54. So 17, 34, 51. So right here is officially the window for a two-stop strategy. You pit at this moment, you'll go one more time and probably switch to the primaries maybe this next tire set. But you know what, though? The tires have only fallen off about a second since the start of this race, Gary.
I guess, I guess it really depends on who the driver is. I know some were saying that are really rough, that are not smooth on the wheel. They're going to run those reds, those alt tire compounds pretty ragged. But if you're smooth, like an operator like Isaac there, yeah, he might be able to pull out some extra laps on and life on those tires.
You've left Julian speechless, which happens about once every never.
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Philip Lee up to the 10th position as he continues now to hound Carlos Dotero. So Philip continues that run through the field and not used one single push to pass to do it. So great job on Philip's part, being patient. Probably a little anger inside of him, which, you know, sometimes you have a great race when you're running angry. Saban trying to hold off Daniel McDonald for the 3rd spot. So again, just keeping an eye. We're keeping our eyes open right now. You see the track map over here to the right. It's actually one of the bigger track maps. I realized. I was like, holy cow, it's huge.
Pretty well spread. I mean, there's pretty much a car on about every portion of the track almost, but it's pretty well spread out.
And for those who trying to understand it, the red line at the bottom, that is the start-finish line. So for you to know where pit straightaway is right now, you see Dan Barrera, his car number 26 just faded out. That is because he is on pit road. So Dan Barrera going to be the first one to pit from the 12th position. And we'll put pit stops down here at the bottom so you can see what's going on. One of the trickiest pit road exits to take because you have to pretty much, here comes Isaac. Here comes Isaac.
Leaders in. So narrow, so narrow.
And not to mention the entry there is kind of narrow too. You think that
right.
like Mid-Ohio or Barber's narrow?
Well, I always equate to the pit out at for the Daytona Road Course.
Oh yes,
it's very narrow.
Which
with the wall that as soon as you bump it, you're going to take damage. So.
Which thankfully they've actually just implemented the IMSA pit road to Daytona recently. Okay. So now you can actually, you're on the limiter all the way around to turn 2 that would be, I believe. Isaac pulls away.
Isaac down on the way and staying on the alternates, by the way.
Staying on the alternates, and this will be able to tell us a delta coming onto the track for him. And looks like this is all the way around the Andretti hairpin and 48 seconds. So actually a pretty long pit road when you look at it from that standard. 10-second stop, though, for the champ.
I need to hit the helicopter so I can head to the airport for the supersonic transport. So,
I see.
Again, thanks for everybody watching at home. Thanks for everybody voting for whoever their favorite driver is, Justin Saban.
Your vote's null and void.
But thanks for everyone for taking time and tuning in. So we'll see you next week at Michigan.
And before we let Gary,
well,
before we let you go, Gary, I will share real quickly. Next week is going to be a little different. So you might hear Gary on the air. You will not hear me on the air because of I'm actually getting wisdom teeth pulled out. Yes, I know I'm still a 15-year-old here. So you're actually, I know Chris Lewis is working on a backup plan for the broadcast, and we'll keep you up to date with that. As somebody has spun, David Wimsey, I believe, right on the front straightaway.
Yep.
But we'll let you go. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate your time. As always, go have fun.
Loving it as always. Thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely. As Ido Vila, Sam Blackwood, and Austin Sarr on pit road now. It's the first round of pit stops at lap number 21. Gary has another broadcast, actually. He does now on Tuesday nights, and is a well-earned broadcaster now, as he's joined us for Of course, now over 3 seasons as Vito pulls away. Isaac Lopez up a position. There's Sam Blackwood pulling away. So all these guys hitting right at about lap number 20 as expected, but you got to be very careful with this pit road here. So easy to take this car off the track. And here comes Bommersbach to pit road. Kite trying to run the fastest lap he potentially can at this moment. Kite into his pit stall, the pole sitter tonight. Switches over to the primary tire, so here's where he's going to do different, it looks like, compared to Isaac Morris. Morris has already gone by, 10.4 second stop. They match each other in pit road times. You see Isaac down at the bottom of the valley there into the Andretti hairpin. So again, big thanks to our good friends at Track Cam 4 Gourmets. They have given us the road course cameras for tonight. So the shots you're seeing on track are the realistic shots that you see from the broadcast of IndyCar racing here at Laguna Seca. So appreciate them. You can check out trackcams22.com for all what they have to offer here on Captain TV. And of course, we appreciate the hard work that It's Sven from the Track Cams 22 guys do. So Jessica Saban leads right now. She has about 4/10 over Daniel McDonald, and they're both going to come to pit road. Got to be very careful right here. Appreciate you viewers watching tonight, as always. See what we got right now. We're at 14, 15. I think I saw up to 20 at one point just a little bit ago. So appreciate everybody. I've been trying to keep tally of votes as much as possible. I know Chris after the race will also keep a tally himself, and we'll get the actual numbers for the Sean Stevens Award that, of course, will be presented next week after the Michigan race. Oh, that's not nice, Mrs. Saban. Knocks out the orange thingies out to the track. Thanks, James. I appreciate that feedback. Now, he's done a great job coming through the field. I've been watching closely of how he's been doing. And, yeah, he's up to, where's he now? 3rd right now. He's still yet to make that pit stop, but he's probably going to stretch this out. And you know what? You said fuel saving. He gets 2 more laps out of this thing. He could go 1 stop and switch to the primes, and that could be huge. He's been fuel saving and still running 109, so that's very impressive. I mean, if he's not angry, there's something inside of him that's driving him like this. Let's just put it like that, because I'd be angry if I got penalized. So he's pitting at lap 24 here, so he's not going to make the 1 stopper. But this is going to make it interesting to be able to split this run maybe. Well, pitting right now makes it he would have to go 28 laps to the finish. So that definitely, I don't know if that's feasible. But, man, that'd be awesome to see. So Isaac Morris has cycled back to the lead. He's got 12 seconds now over Kite Bommersbach. Now Kite is on the primary tires, as I mentioned. And been told that McDonald hit the... Hey, he's on pit road. Oh, wow! And destroyed the right front of his car. And Kite is off track. That looks like over there the corkscrew again. Kite had issues. Let's see what happened to... Having a Daniel here. Oh, Daniel loses the back end, jumps to curve. Oh. That is not going to help things out. So Daniel McDonald off the track. He's having his own issues tonight. Going to be on pit road now. And as I mentioned, Kite's gone off, and Isaac Morris just went purple with an 18.22 as he locks it up there. Or 108.22, I should say. As Isaac Lopez comes to pit road. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Speaking of Philip Lee, to 24, that would be 20 or 48. He's going to be 4 laps short. So, knowing him, he'll probably. I mean, he could either buy killed by sausage. That's about right. He can probably. He might run these primary tires all the way out, and maybe short fill, go to the finish, or just split this run in half and get back to the alternate reds maybe. Either way, I think are viable strategies. Philip right now in the 8th position there. But I appreciate you guys. Oh, somebody's got to spin back there. Is that Brennan? Yeah, Danny Brennan going for a little bit of a lazy spin as he continues on. Carlos Zotero on pit road. Guys, I appreciate the conversation, though. That's part of, I try to push this in other leagues, too. It's like that's part of the broadcast to me. When I'm able to call a race, because it's fantastic racing all around, road course or ovals and stuff, but I feel like the viewers, my goal is to let you guys be a part of this, too. So if you guys ever have questions or want to talk or whatever, feel free to just throw a question in there. I see the chat right here to my right, and we will go from there. But yeah, I'm not sure next week to answer those questions, as we have cars on pit road again. Tim Miller, Andres Perez, Nick Fleury, and Lester. Ooh, these cars started on pit road. Those might be the one-stoppers. Yeah, next week I'm actually getting wisdom teeth pulled out, so I'm going to be out of action for about 3 days. And 2 or 3 days. We'll have to see how long it is. But I know Chris Lewis is working on a plan. And, I mean, if I'm able to, I don't think I'll be able to talk. But, I mean, I could at least sit back and maybe run the cameras or something. We'll see how I'm feeling. Worst case, obviously, he'll have somebody here to cover the broadcast. Or worst case scenario, he'll throw a replay to me. And when I feel better, I'll broadcast the race then. So we'll have to see. But one thing's for sure, I know, I believe Isaac and I and Chris and Gary, a couple of us are going to be working on some stuff for the season and going from there. So Daniel McDonald did return to the track. That is him right there behind his teammate Isaac Morris. Daniel is 18th right now on track. As Kite Bommersbach is about 23 seconds back now. Saban about 5 seconds back from him. And this battle here is starting to show up as Sam Blackwood is trying to hold off Austin Saar, who's having his best season run in this number 20. As you see Austin on the alternate reds. Blackwood's on the primary tires. So yeah, next week will be the 3rd and final leg of the Triple Crown. It will be the Michigan race. If you remember, we ran that race earlier this season. It had tons of issues with people dropping out and stuff like that. So the TI officials decided at that point we were going to push the race back to the end of the schedule. Now, AJ Stravado won that race. The win does count for his records. However, the points-wise did not count towards the season. So that race will be run in its entirety next week here at 7:45 Eastern Time. The finish of the season, and wrap up of the 5th season for TI Racing, and we'll get ready for season 6. You see the looseness there in Blackwood's car. As Danny Brennan's heading off over here at the corkscrew. That's kind of how Zanardi made that pass that Gary was talking about a little bit ago. He is doing very well. The old drone cameras. Hey, what guy that is struggling tonight, and Gary talked about him a little bit ago, but Lester's been a top 5 car almost every week, and I don't know what it is, if it's maybe he's just not used to this track or if it's something else, but Lester back in the 16th position, just having an off night. Hate it for him. That's just a bummer. Lester, a super nice guy. I've enjoyed talking to him. So here's your Philip Lee update. Right now he's up to the 7th position, plus 15. Still on the lead lap. And running laps at about 109 right now. Again, he will probably have to pit a second time unless he finds a way to save up, about 4 laps or so of fuel to get to the 28 mark. I'm sure, unfortunately, we can't see what map he's running here from the outside of the car. Phil coming up to the back bumper of Austin Saar in that number 20 car as they move by David Wimsey. Go back to Isaac Morris, who's having another flawless race. His time's only about a 10th off of his fastest. All right, let's take a lap with Isaac here, and I'll try to describe my knowledge about the track, which I've run a few laps here. But obviously this is turn 1 right there, and then you come to the Andretti hairpin. This is a double apex corner, so you kind of just ride the curve all the way around. You straighten the wheel out and then go back into the corner there, turn 2, and then turn 3, a right-handed corner here. This part of the track just flows. It's all about rhythm right here. 4th gear, you just kind of flip the throttle there down this straightaway. And then Gary mentioned this corner here, a little bit of a bank to it, and then this corner coming up here, this is turn number 5, I believe he said. This corner here actually has a little bit of a dip right there that can upset the car if you're not careful. And the 1st gear corner, here's the corkscrew. Of course, it's a blinding corner. It's just as blinding as it looks right there. You cannot see the bottom part of the corner. You find a spot on the track and turn at that point to make that corner. We're going to cut away because Sam Blackwood is in trouble. Sam Blackwood has gone around here at turn 11, and he's lost a few spots. And with 19 laps to go, Blackwood down to the 8th position here. So that is Carlos Dotero right there behind him, and that's the leader right behind him. What the majority of these guys honestly doing a great job keeping it on track, keeping their car as clean as possible. As Isaac is going to go past Dotero, moves out of the way for him, and he'll come up on the back of Blackwood. As Philip Lee continues to put pressure on Austin. So as we have 18 laps to go right now, I'm counting Philip with 6 votes. If I'm seeing this right, and I might have missed 1 or 2, like I said. Chris will follow up with the broadcast. He's able to see all the chat. And we'll take a look also. I've got Saban with 6, Philip with 6, and Jim Herrick with 1. I've seen that right. Somebody spun off there. I think Wimsey. So should see the second round of pit stops here. The window is officially open now. Anybody could come to pit road and go the rest of the distance on fuel. Not wrong button. And somebody's spinning right up ahead here. Who is that? Andres Perez is who that is. As Jessica Saban comes to pit road. Andres back into 17th position. Got that little off, but here comes Saban from the 3rd position to pit road. The Chevy Performance, number 28. And issues for the 33 of AJ Stravato up at the carousel, or at the corkscrew, along with the 5. We'll have to go back and see this. You see Saban leaving pit road, but something has happened up at the top of the corkscrew. Let's see what has transpired here. But I heard somebody cue the microphone. Oh, wow! Perez drives it in there and hits Stravato, and this is all right in front of the leader. Stravato was a lead lap car. I have a feeling that the stewards are going to be looking at that one. Let's get a different look at this. This is going to be back where Perez has his issue right here. Pulls the e-brake right there and slides it off the course, keeps it going. Here comes Stravato up behind him there. He kicks up a little bit of rocks. He lets Stravato go by, and then he just clips him in the right rear and sends him spinning. Wow. Definitely avoidable. And then he goes spinning right in front of Isaac. That could have been terrible. Kite Bomber's back here in the 2nd position after his couple of mistakes he's made. He is down 15 seconds right now on Isaac, so he's actually made up a little bit of time now as somebody has spun right in the middle of the front straightaway there. And something else has happened because Isaac's been involved in something. There's things happening all around me here. Oh, Isaac actually went for a spin in the corkscrew. Isaac does have a little human to him, believe it or not. I will say this about Isaac. For those, obviously this is my 4th season covering this series now, and I've learned a lot about Isaac, and I said this for the previous 3 seasons. And I meant this in the most respectful way. Isaac reminds me a lot of Paul Tracy. And what I mean by that is Paul Tracy was always fast, was all get out, knew how to drive a car, and could do things, but he would make mistakes. And Isaac would go out there, he would lead, let's use Mid-Ohio earlier this season for an example. Goes out there, was leading the most laps, had a lead, was going to the checkered flag to win the race, comes out to turn 5, spins out. And little things like that would cost Isaac. This season, that one time, as I just mentioned, and that situation there, Isaac has been flawless all season long. He has not made a mistake, and because of that, that's why he's sitting here the champion already, as we have 2 races still to go after last week. So tonight and next week in Michigan, that's it. And he's already the champion. So because of that spin, no, Kite down to 15 seconds back in 2nd. Ito Vila now 3rd. As I mentioned, Austin Sarr 4th. And here's the battle for the 5th position. Philip Lee lets Saban go on by, as Saban has newer tires. And as Phillips trying to save a little bit of fuel here, he just moves over and lets her go by. Classy move. Again, I appreciate the 17 viewers watching tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, please. If you're not new to the channel, we appreciate you returning as always. And if I could do anything to invite all you guys to watch my other nights and stuff like that, please let me know what I can do. I'm not desperate for viewers or anything, but I would love to invite all my awesome viewers to... Oh, and there goes Saban spinning in the corkscrew. Did she just do a corkscrew 360? That might be a new Tony Hawk term right there. We'll have to look at the replay of this. But we'd love to have you guys come and join us for some other broadcasts down the road. As Philip Lee comes to pit road here, exactly what I thought. He's going to split this run in half. Austin Sarr comes to pit road. So it's going to be a short fill for the 18. And he might actually jump to 20 making this pit stop. Isaac Morris, Kite Bombersbach on pit road. And there goes Philip leaving his pit stall. Look at this. He's going to jump in front of Austin Sarr. I believe. Nope, he actually gave it to him. Sarr beats him out of pit road. But here's your champ on pit road now. All right, let's go back and see what happened to Saban. Because I believe she just did a simple 360 here, which would be unbelievable coming down a hill. How about that move? Now that's corkscrewing with style. Vila on pit road. Sam Blackwood on pit road. This will be the final pit stops of the night right here. Dan Barrera coming to pit road. So Philip Lee did get by Austin Sarr, by the way, 4 positions. So move Philip up to 8th. Now, believe it or not, Saban is still going to be 3rd after that little dipsy-doo dunkaroo down the corkscrew. Vila running in the 4th position now. Dotero up to 5th. And he's got about, wait for this to cycle through. Looks like roughly 7.5 seconds to Philip Lee for a top 5 finish. Up to 22 viewers, 11 laps to go. Go back here, might be for the 13th position, but you know it's a fight that is starting to brew up here. Danny Brennan has Nick Fleury and Daniel McDonald right on their gearbox. At least it was. Something happened to McDonald. He has spun. That's what happened. Right at the corkscrew again. 10 laps to go. And here comes McDonald to pit road. So now Brennan going to have to put up with the battle from Nick Fleury there in that 50 car. So if this finishes out the way it looks like it's going to finish, we are looking at Isaac Morris going all the way from the first race in, make sure I'm seeing these dates right, the first race in May, which was Road America, all the way to now on the 8th of June, a whole entire month where he has won every race in succession. And I bring that up because the race before the Road America race was the Michigan race, which ironically is the race now being run next week. So from the time Michigan happened, it looks like Isaac Morris, if he can run these next 8 laps clean, is, and believe it or not, Kite is actually bringing him in. We're looking at potentially six straight wins as one car goes off the track right next to, that might have been Blackwood. And Sam has destroyed that car. Tough break for the 74. Kite with the fastest lap of the race, a 107.86 for him, so he's definitely on it now. Well, there's been, and you know what, I'm going to bring this up. There's been some criticism about that, and there are some drivers in the series that are not happy about it, and that's their right. Everybody can have their opinion about things, and I've talked to Isaac. I've shared my opinion about the whole thing. You know, and he knows how I feel about it. And I'm going to keep that between him and I and stuff, as I have my own opinions about that as a guy that has a team in this league and stuff. But, you know, in fairness, though, Isaac goes out here and practices a ton. So I'm not going to take away or let it be taken away from him how hard he works in these cars to perfect his craft. And as you see, when he gets out here, and you know, he spun a couple minutes ago in the corkscrew, he's not perfect. So, you know, making the setup or not, he goes out here and does a great job. So, and I'll say this too, the first, I think it's 3 seasons, somebody else made the setups, and Isaac went out here and dominated and won races. Did he win the championship? No, because, you know, we've talked about it plenty of times. You know, he's had family issues. He's not ran full seasons for a couple of seasons. And season 2, he had all the bad luck in the world happening to him. So, so take that for what it's worth. Yeah, he makes the setups right now. But he goes out here and runs a ton of laps with them, too. Route 37. Kite is about 9 seconds back now, so he is actually catching Isaac here. With 6 laps to go, he's going to have to make up almost a second and a half per lap to get to him. Last time by, he was actually 2 seconds faster than Isaac, but you wonder if Isaac is saving his tires. I appreciate that, Burning Ember. Appreciate you coming to join us, and hopefully we can see you for some more streams every other night. I'm on the air 7 nights a week, in case you guys haven't realized it. And tomorrow night, I got a Bristol Dirt Race truck series from Great Lakes Sim Racing. That'll be a fun race tomorrow night. And then Thursday night, North Wilkesboro Short Track Super League race. I'm on the air 7 nights a week, so if you I'm going to say, sorry, I lost my train of thought as I'm trying to read what you guys are saying over here. I'm on 7 nights a week, so if you come on anytime after 7 o'clock and just hang out, you'll see me come on the air at one point. And it's valid points. No, and dear bro, those are all valid points, and they've been addressed. Trust me, they've been addressed. I know Chris Lewis and Isaac and all them. It's all been discussed and stuff, and it's being looked at. So that's pretty much all I can say right now. I don't want to get into business for next season or whatever, but. Right now, it's a situation they're in, so. The Kite's got it down to 7.5 seconds right now. Can he get to the back bumper of Isaac? I said bumper again. Gearbox. Philip Lee checking on him, 6th position. He has caught Carlos Dotero. Philip looking inside. Somebody's spun or something. He heard the sliding. Right there. Who is that going around the 46? Jeff Destino. They're running 10 per season as of right now. I don't know if that's going to go up or go down. But TI Racing runs 10. This is race 9. Technically race 10, but race 9 that counts. And next week will be race number 10, which again, a reminder, I will not be on the air next week myself. I'm not sure what the plan is for the broadcast for next week, but we'll have to see. I'll have to talk to Chris Lewis and get that all figured out. But if you see, and right around goes Dotero right in front of Philip Lee, who just stops. That's one way to take a position and move Philip to the top 5. By the way, Kai Bombersbach is on the march. It's down to 5.6 seconds. Hello, guys. My fellow Omo drivers from the BPRL watching. Isaac through the Andretti hairpin to turn 2 and turn 3. As he has 2 laps to go. Down into the corkscrew. 2 more times through there is all he has. Now Kite's got it down to 4.7 seconds. They both have 7 pushes to pass left. Well, it's about time you listen to something I said, Anthony. Final lap for Isaac Morris on his way to his 6th straight win in the series. I need you guys coming around every night too now. Come on. But I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, guys. Isaac working his way up the hill to the final time here. So leads down to 3.6 seconds. Not going to be enough for Kite, but what a comeback attempt he has made. And through the final 3 turns on the track, Isaac Morris is going to come through turn number 11, and it will be his 6th straight win on the march as he continues his successful, dominant season. Isaac Morris, the winner at Laguna Seca. Kite going to get second for her second straight podium in 3 races. And how about Jessica Saban? Well, she's still got like a half lap to go. And somebody apparently is not happy with somebody. I can hear it in chat. And there's Saban finishing in the 3rd position. Appreciate it, Mr. Lee. Oh, and that's going to leave a mark. Not sure why there was a car sitting at the hill there. It's kind of a blinding corner right there in turn 1. Either way, Isaac's going to come down. And as I mentioned, if I said this correctly, it's a 6th straight win. And I believe this is going to be a 7th of the season. Sorry, his 8th win of the season. Very impressive. Take a look at the final results. The Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix here at Laguna Seca for the night. It is Isaac Morse going to victory lane again. Kite Bombersbach second, Jessica Saban third. Ido Vila finishing 4th with Philip Lee in the 5th position. Carlos Dotero 6th. Tires, I don't think are going to pop. The motor will blow before the tires do, to answer that question. Austin Sarr going to finish 7th. Isaac Lopez 8th, Lester in 9th. Wait a minute, Lester finished 9th? When I just talked about a little bit ago how he struggled? Nice job, Lester. Tim Miller 10th, Dan Barrera 11th, Danny Brennan 12th, Luke Daniels 13th, Nick Fleury 14th, Sam Blackwood 15th, Daniel McDonald 16th, Andres Perez 17th, Jeff Destino finishes in the 18th position. AJ Stravato 19th, 20th David Whimsey, 21st Matt Kelly, 22nd Jim Herrick, 23rd Matthew Telder. And that is it. Eric Tupper was the admin, I believe, on the race here this evening. But yeah, to answer, I believe the motor will blow before the tires, unless they're like just completely worn out by the time you start the burnout. Then I think that will change things. But as we will talk to the winner here in Victory Lane in just a second. It has been a dominant season for Isaac. And let's get him up here. I appreciate that. He's actually talking with another person right now. So actually, let me let's go get. No, he just popped up here. So here we go. Let's bring Isaac up here. He's joining us tonight. Isaac, congratulations on yet another win. And I didn't even realize this. I was looking at the schedule mid-race, and I'm like, wait, this is guy's 6th straight win. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Road America, right? Road Atlanta, Indianapolis, Monza, Pocono, Laguna Seca. That was the second race of the season. That was one you didn't win. That's like the only race I think you haven't won, technically.
So this would be my 7th race.
I don't know how to count. We won Long Beach. Michigan, you didn't win it, but it doesn't count either. That one's the odd one. Yeah, I guess. So it's kind of a trick. Yeah, so technically there's a loophole there. You have won 7 in a row, but technically you haven't won 7 in a row. You've won 6 in a row. Maybe. So I wonder if next week then, if you don't win, does it become 6 in a row again? Well, there's some math there to be done. Anyways, let's just talk about tonight. Great job this evening, man. Great battle. You and Kite definitely had a great race at the beginning. He made a few mistakes. Later in the race, looked like he was starting to catch up. Was that you just kind of running on the primary tires and not being as fast on them, or was that more you just kind of sitting back and getting to the finish?
It was just me sitting back getting to the finish, to be honest, because like I calculated it. I looked at how many laps were left in the race, and there's 11 laps at the end of the race after I came to pits, and I said like, okay, there's a 15-second gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kite on average has to catch more than 5, and then I had a few good laps where he was only like 0.8, 0.9 slower or faster than me. Sorry. So then I realized, okay, like I only have to be this much. So I just hit target lap times each lap, and I quite consistently hit like 1.8 for like the last. Well, there's some other ones there, but yeah, I was just like consistently like looking at hitting target lap times, so I didn't have to really push myself. Because the last thing I wanted to do was make a mistake on the primaries and just throw everything away in the end. So, it wasn't worth pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I could tell that Kite was pushing for the win. But then I knew like if Kite was going to push too hard, then he might end up making a mistake, and there's traffic involved as well. So there's a lot of mitigating factors that played in my favor. So yeah.
For those who are watching on the stream, yes, I know I didn't realize I made a whoopsies again. But Isaac basically said that he was kind of sitting back just trying to finish the race, knowing that the delta times between him and second and just running laps. So basically in a nutshell, that's what he said. So sorry about that to everybody there. And sorry, Isaac. As we carry on, obviously the battling out there. There was a couple spins in front of you. You went for your own little lazy slide down the corkscrew. Everybody had issues in the corkscrew tonight, which, by the way, Jessica Saban gets the spin of the night in the corkscrew. So I give her that award if there even is a such thing. But what happened on your deal?
I just caught the inside curb really awkwardly, and car bottomed out, and it just pinged up. The next it was like a spring-loaded action, really. It just hit the inside, and I hear just like a pop, and the next thing the car was around, and I was like, oh. Like, I was streaming the race myself, and yeah, and like, yeah, the first thing I was like, okay, like, you spun around, get out of the apex, get to one side so people know that you're gonna be there, sort of thing. Like, they can see you while they're coming down the corkscrew. Because last thing you want is like the blind end bit of the corkscrew, and then boom, there'd be their car. So, but yeah, it was just a really silly, dumb mistake on my end. Like, it was unexpected more than anything. Like, it just happened so quickly and unexpectedly. But yeah, got the car facing the right way, and I was thinking, okay, yeah, it's probably time to pit in a few laps. So did that and just chilled for the rest of the race.
And then a couple laps later, they try to wreck in front of you.
Oh, that was crazy. It was kind of that was kind of dumb on Andreas's behalf, because he's meant to let AJ through, and he let AJ through, and then turns into AJ as AJ's going past. Like just be smarter about it. Lift off in the braking zone, let him pass there, and and obviously, like, I'm going to defend my teammate over the next guy, but what he did was stupid, and it ended AJ's race, and AJ's fighting for possibly a top 5, so
well,
it was kind of stupid.
Well, great on your part. No matter what, great win. You can go celebrate again, and the pressure's off of the championship because you've already got that. And now you go to the Oval at Michigan next week, which you actually ran well in that race a couple weeks back before all the flipping out and things happened in that broadcast. But great job tonight. Shout out to whoever you like.
So I'd like to give a shout out to everyone that's in my stream right now for watching the race. You know, I think quite a few people watched the whole race and watched the second half. I'd like to give a big shout out to Chris Lewis, team boss. There's actually some big plans coming for me and him soon, so quite excited what we're planning. You know, and give a shout out to all the guys in TI. They've done an amazing job this season. And I'd like to give a big shout out to our main sponsor, General Motors. You know, another week, another win. To keep them happy. So yeah. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to my my iRacing coaching academy, Apex Stage Coaching. Yeah, just follow us on Twitter at Apex Stage Coach. And yeah, I think that's it. And a shout out to you, Chris. You know, here every Tuesday, doing this for us. So yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate your time, buddy. Go enjoy, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And, of course, Isaac Morris, winner of tonight's race. Let's get our second-place finisher up here. He's 2 for 2 in podiums. I'm sure he's not the probably happiest guy because he made a few mistakes tonight, but still fights back to a second-place finish. Kite Bommersbach, apologies. Great run tonight and great second-place finish.
Thanks, yeah. As you stated, definitely had a lot of pace in the car, and I think I could have grabbed the victory if I was consistent all the way throughout. But, you know, running P2, that's never a bad day.
No.
And as you said at the top of the broadcast, I was watching kind of during qualifying. I'm here to kind of make a statement that next season I'm looking to compete for the championship. And with the pace that I showed today, I think I made that clear at the very least.
Hey, you definitely did. I mean, you had to pace. I mean, especially in that late run there. I mean, I know Isaac was kind of just pacing to the finish, but you were turning lap after lap. You went purple there with an 07. I don't think anybody had done that all night. Darn near broke the track record that this track had held before you, Isaac. And actually, let me back up a second and say this. You broke the track record in qualifying. I don't know if you knew that or not. So you technically, virtually have the track record at Laguna Seca now. But still, it showed that you had the pace. You had a good strategy, obviously, because you went primary tires and then back to the alternates there for that final run. But talk about what you've learned so far, though, because this is your first road race with the series. You ran Pocono last week, which was your first race, and now your second race. So you've had 2 races under your belt to kind of learn a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. This series obviously follows real-life IndyCar rules and requires that you run both sets of tires, which is something that's new to me. The other series that I've run so far, they've not chosen to dictate, or stipulate that you have to run both. So it was really interesting to kind of make the call on strategy, like, all right, this is when I'm going to run the blacks, and this is how long I'm going to run them, and this is when the reds are going to give up, and where that crossover point is. It's all, a lot to manage, especially, we're doing this all by ourselves, just with a couple of teammates that are also running their own races. So it was a lot to manage, but I think I executed that pretty well today. It was just about being consistent on track. I was a little too cautious at the start, and I had to build my confidence up as the race went on. As y'all saw, I'm sure I had a couple spins there that cost me quite a bit of time, but ultimately I can't be disappointed with the performance, and nabbing the fastest lap by over 6 tenths is not too shabby either.
No, not to mention on older alternate tires. So for something that was supposed to fall off pretty well, they definitely held on for you to run that lap. So great job on that part. But man, glad to have you back for a second straight week. Hope to see you next week in Michigan. Send shout outs whoever you like to, bud.
I just want to give a shout out to GM for coming on board and helping out the league, as well as our teams, Black Cat Racing and Kamigoya Motorsports. I think I pronounced that correctly.
Kamigoya, I believe it is. Don't let Gary hear that.
Yeah. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Gary for bringing me on and helping me out, helping me get acclimated to this series as well. It's been a big help.
Absolutely. Well, great job, Kite. Proud of you. Happy for you, man. And go celebrate a second.
Thank you, guys. Catch y'all around.
You too, buddy. As Kite Bommersbach with a second place finish. As we'll put it back down here, and now we'll bring up Mrs. Saban, Jessica, joining us this evening. Jessica, there's one thing we are going to celebrate tonight. and that was a few minutes ago. Coming down the corkscrew, I think you definitely had the spin of the night.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't even know what happened, honestly. I think I approached it the same way. It was like, no, I don't think I will. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good save as well. I'm trying to find which lap it was in my replay.
Yeah, it
but
was
I
definitely.
can't.
It looked like you maybe caught the curve the wrong way, because there was obviously a little dip there at that curve, and maybe that spun you to the left a little bit. But for you to be able to pull a 360, falling 5 stories, and keep it straight, I mean that's not easy.
It was certainly impressive, I think, definitely.
Well, talk about your race, because you had some hit or misses. Obviously tonight, you still finished third. Great racing, obviously with you, and you had a couple spins, but you still were able to run consistent enough to get another top 3.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good start. I got 2 guys off the start, and that kind of left us in clean air. So we pulled away, did a short stint on the black tire, and then we got out on the reds, and my engineer said, I think that's good. We've got the place, and we kept it, even with the spins, 2 or 3 of them.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to finish third sometimes, and maybe do a little showing off with it, right? But
You got to put something on for the camera sometimes.
well, great job, Jessica. Proud of you. Happy for you. Send shout out to whoever you like to.
Obviously, I want to thank Gary and Chevy and GM for allowing me to take part in this series. It's been amazing, and I think tonight was what I've been waiting for all season, and I'm really happy to be P3, finally on the podium.
There you go. Well deserved. You're out there racing hard each and every week, so great job on that. Congratulations, and we'll talk on the oval next week.
Yeah, one more at Michigan.
One more at Michigan, which, by the way, you were leading laps at, I believe, last in that race a couple weeks ago.
Michigan or Pocono?
I think it was Michigan. Weren't you leading for a little bit? It was you and Krista were battling, I believe, for the lead at one point?
I know. I think that was Vilda.
Was it Vilda? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Okay. I knew there were 2 young ladies racing hard, and I thought it was you for some reason. But no, either way, great job on your part, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
See you in Michigan.
Sounds good. And Jessica Saban, 3rd place finisher, and definitely the save of the night. If I could go find it real quick, I'll show you those who have just gotten here to, was this it right here? I'm about to find out. That's turn 1. It was not here. So I'm able to look through highlights and see. Okay, that's where she spins there. Here we go. For those who have not seen this, I don't know anybody could pull this one off. That is corkscrewing with style right there. So, great race. Great job by everybody tonight. Fun race at the Laguna Seca track, and we got one more left next week. Again, I'm not sure of the plans for next week with Chris Lewis and the guys. I obviously have got a little bit of mouth surgery coming up next week with wisdom teeth getting yanked out. So I won't be here next week as far as I know. I don't have much experience or knowledge of wisdom teeth pulling, but I know that usually you can't talk, I think, for a day or so. So I don't think I'll be on. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. So, but appreciate everybody for joining us. If I don't get a chance to talk to you guys next week, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you back in a couple weeks for the beginning of season number 6. Otherwise, thank you guys for always watching on Captain TV, and you never know, they might just decide to tape delay the race, and if they do, you'll hear me again for the Michigan broadcast. So, but appreciate everybody joining us this evening. Congrats to Isaac once again on the win. Thank you to iRacing, Chris Lewis, for allowing me to broadcast each and every Tuesday night here. And also thank you to the viewers. You guys make this fun. I appreciate everything you guys do and making time out of your lives to come over and watch sim racing, let's be honest, and go from there. So with that said, enjoy the rest of your Monday evening, or Tuesday evening, I should say. Also thank you iRacing for allowing us to broadcast on the platform, and to Track Cam 4 Gourmets for their awesome cameras that they give me each and every evening when I'm out there on the air. So, all right, I'm done with shout-outs. You guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. And remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
Let go of fear, you're holding the fire smoldering. It's starting all over again. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know what I'm in for. A white knuckle ride. You got a fix for me, you know what I need. Oh, it's a breakneck speed. Might as well enjoy the ride. The air around exploding. It won't slow me down. A sailing soul. Whoa, whoa. Hands all that weight you run up. Crashing thunder. Lift it up to the wheel. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know what I'm in for. A white knuckle ride. You got a fix for me, you know what I need. Oh, it's a breakneck speed. Might as well enjoy the ride.
Get strong.
Ooh.